watch what's approaching. The supreme moment, reality striking closer than it seems, don't it? Go ahead, it's for the taking if you want it. If not, the dream dies and you'll be forever haunted. Then confront it.
Okay, so I have been debating on this one for over a year now, but I don't know, maybe I had a rude awakening today, but I said fuck it, let's just go ahead and rainbow this unit today. So I went ahead and did that, and to my surprise, I mean, I guess it's a surprise, but I guess it's not. Based on the passive skill, I was a little bit interested in it anyway, but let's just go ahead and say I was a little bit surprised how good this unit actually is. And of course, this unit is probably one of those that you've pulled quite a bit of. I mean, it starts out as the SR unit of, the summonable pulls, and I'm sure a lot of you guys are tired of seeing this Magetta unit. But once awakened into the, max level 100 SSR UR state, the unit's actually pretty good, and we'll cover that here in a second. But just to give you kind of an overview of the team itself, it's the double hit leader team with the full 170% boost to the Universe 6 category, as well as 150% boost to Universe Survival Saga units on the team. I am going to keep this unit linked up with the Topo unit just because of the super attack ability to raise allies' attack by 25% for one turn. Also, Topo's passive has an attack and defense increase of 35% for allies and enemies' defense minus 50%. So whenever that does apply, the Bota Magetta unit will definitely benefit from that. But let's just go ahead and talk about the unit itself. Now, the reason why I was interested in potentially rainbowing this unit was honestly the passive skill. So key +2 attack and defense increase of 70% when facing only one enemy, and then plus an additional key +2 attack and defense increase of 30% when facing 2 or more enemies. So obviously, in situations where there are multiple enemies, the better this unit is. But even with only one enemy, you're still looking at a 70% to both attack and defense. So I was actually very interested for a long time in how this unit would actually perform. And given the skill sets, I would definitely like to test this guy out on Super Battle Road at some point. Maybe I'll do that over the weekend. But on top of the passive skill, the super attack will cause supreme damage and also lowers attack. And you'll notice on this team setup, there are actually quite a few units that have the ability to lower enemies' attack, and that could provide a lot of beneficial value in certain scenarios. Even with the Universe Survival Saga team, I mean, I could potentially test this out on that category stage of Super Battle Road. It might be a little bit difficult with the current setup that you're seeing right now, but it might be worthwhile testing. We'll go, we'll see what happens with that. But links are pretty straightforward and links very well as long as you run a Universe Survival Saga or Universe 6 type setup. You've got Tough as Nails, that's 1500 to defense. Infighter is attack increase of 10%, enemies defense minus 10%. More Than Meets the Eye is attack increase of 300. Rival Duo is attack increase of 10%, attack the enemy's defense minus 15%. Tournament of Power is +3 key. Warriors of Universe 6 is +2 key, and then Fierce Battle is attack increase of 15%. So this unit does have the Fierce Battle link skill, just in case some of you guys might not have been aware of that. Category-wise, this unit falls into 3, Universe Survival Saga, Universe 6, and Joined Forces. At 100% potential, you're looking at HP of 13,394, attack is 11,739, and defense is 9,554. So decent stats overall at 100% potential. So again, the passive skill is very interesting. The super attack ability does lower attack, so that definitely does have some added value as well. In terms of the potential level build, I went with level 15 additional attack and level 11 for criticals, just to take advantage of the ability to lower attack as much as possible. Honestly, when I was debating on whether to rainbow this unit, I pretty much had testing the unit out on Super Battle Road in mind, so because of that, I went with a heavier focus on additional attack. But you could certainly go heavier on criticals if you wanted to. I mean, honestly, you can go toward evasion if you really wanted to, but my personal preference when it comes to the potential builds typically revolves around either additional attack or criticals. I very rarely give levels toward evasion or dodge, honestly, and that's just a personal preference of mine. So again, I did mention a couple of units do have the ability to lower attack. You've got, of course, the Bota Magetta unit that's being showcased. You've got the Tech Hit unit. You also do have the Android 17 unit as well. The unit I'm about to talk about isn't included, but the Vados unit also does lower attack from the super attack as well. That unit's actually pretty good because Universe 6 category allies get key +2 attack and defense increase of 30% along with their high chance of evading enemy attacks. That also includes super attacks as well, but I opted for the intelligence Kale unit because I don't know, I already had a rainbow. Well, I have both versions rainbowed, but I don't know, I just decided to go with Kale at the time, basically to benefit from her ability to lower enemies' defense from her super attack. So that's pretty much the mentality going into building the team itself. But again, surprisingly, this unit actually does produce a decent amount of output in terms of attack stats. You consistently see around the region of 1.1 million with the supporting units in the rotation. Even if you only have the Topo unit and having him attack first with the benefit from the super attack and then passive skill applied to allies, you're looking at 1.1 million consistently across the board for attack stats for this Bota Magetta unit. So that's actually very nice. I would say even without it, you're probably looking at a region of 700,000, I would assume, without any support on the rotation. So even with that being said, the unit's actually very good. And I don't know, I was on the fence about it for a long time, but after rainbowing the unit, I wouldn't say it's 100% worthwhile, but it wasn't a bad investment. That's probably the best way to put it. So I could see, Universe 6 and Universe Survival Saga, I think, in my opinion, they could always use, the more options you have, the better, honestly. So I think with that being said, it's certainly not a bad unit to have at 100% potential as a selective process, you know what I mean? So overall, solid unit. Again, consistently 1.1 million in attack stats based on the rotation. Defense is also pretty good. You do have to keep in mind you get at least a 70% defense increase based on when you're fighting only one enemy, and with Topo in the rotation and no other support, you can get the defense to about 89,000 with the Bota Magetta unit. So actually pretty good defense wise as well. Somewhat of a tank. I hate to use that word because it's really not, defense isn't good enough to be considered a tank, but can definitely defend pretty well. That's probably the bottom line. So again, not a bad unit. Certainly surprised my expectations, to be honest with you. And I was debating on whether to rainbow this unit or another one. I might actually end up rainbowing the other unit too, and this one I know I'm going to regret, but I've been debating on this one for about a year. Maybe I'll go ahead and do that tonight, and maybe I'll showcase it tomorrow or something. We'll see, but it's going to be one of those instant regret type rainbows, I think. But I have been promising myself I would rainbow the unit, so I think I'll just go ahead and do it and get it out of the way, honestly. I have plenty of orbs for the time being, so I think I'll just do it while I'm ahead. If I don't, I probably won't ever doing it, so I'll probably just go ahead and do that tonight. But be on the lookout for that. I'll probably end up doing a showcase sometime soon for that one. But back to this unit again. You do have at least 3 categories that this unit falls on: Universe Survival Saga, Universe 6, and Joint Forces. All 3, I think you could probably build some pretty solid teams with this unit included. The thing that benefits this guy a lot is the fact that the teams you can run this unit on in terms of categories, a lot of the units do have like Tournament of Power that's +3 key instantly. So, you could certainly benefit from not having to worry about necessarily getting the super attack. And a lot of the units, of course, in Universe 6 would have the Warriors of Universe 6 Link skill. That is key +2 as well. So essentially, a lot of the units could potentially share 2 of those Link skill, and that's up to 5 extra key that you could get just from links. So on top of providing the unit itself its own links of +2 key when facing only 2 or more enemies, but also does give himself +2 key when facing only 1 enemy. So a lot of variations as to the team building itself, and I think I think it's certainly an option. I don't think it's the best of options. I'm not going to sugarcoat it or anything like that, but I think it's a decent enough option to where, I mean, you got to think about it. It starts out as an SR unit, and up to this point is the final product, so I think that says a lot of the unit, honestly. And There's a couple of variations. Obviously, the other one is the physical type unit, and then of course you have the summonable SSR, which is the intelligence version. The physical version's a little bit different. It's more heavier on the defensive side with the damage reduction and whatnot. I chose to rainbow this one because it's more on the balanced approach. You get both of a attack and defense boost overall from the passive, so it's a lot more well-rounded than the physical counterpart, and that's probably one of the reasons why I decided to rainbow this unit. Yeah, I mean, that's really what it comes down to. I'll probably eventually come around to the physical version and testing that unit out as well, but I mean, my honest opinion about this unit, pretty solid. I think it's definitely, not, I wouldn't say it's 100% recommended, but if you're curious about it, it's a decent enough unit. So, hopefully you enjoyed the video. I wanted to switch things up a little bit and go back to some of the, more obscure unit showcases. So hopefully you enjoyed this one, and definitely stay tuned for the next one because I do have something else in plan. So stay tuned for that one, and I'll catch you guys later. All right, peace out.